children.
You guys,
Hi.
welcome. We have little children running around the neighborhood outside while we're trying to relax and create videos. So you're just gonna have to hear them for a few more minutes. Their mother said they have to go in 10 minutes.
So she's peeking out the window. Hopefully it's sooner than that. We're gonna give her some alcohol.
Anyways, welcome to our first Facebook Live. If you're there, start commenting where you're from, say hello.
Let us know if you can hear us.
Yeah.
If you can't, we can't really fix it. So
No, we can pull it we can pull the phone closer to
that's
us.
what she said.
So
Okay.
let us know if you can hear us, okay?
Yeah.
And comment where you're from. Hi. Oh, look at our friends. We're friends, right?
Now we are. So we wanted to start and just say hello. We're super excited. We've talked about this forever.
Since we met, which was like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe
Wanting
4.5.
to do something like this.
Yeah.
And just finally did it, and we're excited to see where it goes. I'm Marie.
I'm
This is
Angie.
We also go by Madge and Mangie, if you ever want to call us that. Audio is great.
Thanks,
Okay.
Cody.
Thanks, Cody. But so we just want to start. Basically, I'm divorced, obviously. Thank God.
Wait, what?
I know. It happens. For almost 6 years. So January, it'll be 6 years.
It's so crazy.
I know. I was married for 14. I grew up super Mormon. That's another show in and of itself. But I have 4 kids. My oldest is 17 and my youngest is 9. I have 3 boys and a girl. I have full custody. So I get 4 nights a month off, which I cherish very much. And I work full time at a divorce law firm. So we sell happiness.
Perfect fit.
That's what we tell everyone. It's amazing. So
Awesome. So I'm Angie Monson, and I have 3 kids, twins that are 13. That's a whole another show that we could talk about, is your kids detaching from you and kind of moving on. And there's so many things we could talk about related to that. But
And
I
we
have
will.
boy girl twins that are 13, and then my youngest Milo is 8. And I have my kids half of the time, so we don't relate very much when it comes to the custody schedule and stuff. So it's like I always look at Marie and how strong she is and how much she has to deal with, and she keeps it together somehow.
on the outside.
Right? We all are. Anyways, so I have my kids half the time. I'm a photographer full time, and I run retreats all over the world now, which has been really fun. So I work from home, and I have worked for myself for like 15 years. So that's my story. I was separated 4 years ago. My divorce was final 2.5 years ago, and it's been a wild ride. It's almost something you can't easily put into words. And so that's why we kind of wanted to start this group, because you know, I was going to a therapist forever, and she's not divorced. She's amazing, but she's not divorced. She's not going through what I'm going through. And to be able to have the support system of people that are actually going through it with you and can truly have empathy for you and relate is so nice. Like having
Invaluable.
we have a girl group. There's like 6 of us, and you know, we can cry together, we can laugh together, we can talk about anything we need to talk about, and it's been so invaluable. And so we wanted to give that to people, especially I don't think men have a support group like women do, and so we wanted to open this up for everyone to kind of lean on each other and to help each other heal. Because, and yes, we joke around a lot and we have a good time, we share funny memes, but this is a really difficult process, so we want to really be able to be there for each other. So yeah, that's why
we're
here.
excited.
Yes.
Obviously this is our first in bed with the UnWed. We're actually kind of in bed.
Yeah.
We have blankets.
And if we fall asleep, it's fine.
She has tea.
It's almost 8 o'clock, which is our bedtime.
There's no whiskey in here at all.
I know. I drank a little too much last night at a birthday party, so no drinking tonight for me.
So basically, we don't know how often we'll do these. Maybe weekly. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have themes, topics, and I know we've announced all week that our first one is the do's and don'ts of sending a first message when you're online. I know me personally, I fucking hate online dating.
She hates
I don't like dating in general. I really don't like online dating. So it's really hard for me. Probably because I'm the negative to Angie's positive.
That's why we're perfect for
which
each
basically
other.
wraps up our relationship. But I get turned off real fast online. Like if you send me a weird message, or if I feel like I don't like your tone, which you can't even get a tone from a message, but I can pick out a tone, and if I don't like it, you're out. And so it's hard for me. But I do think there is a place for online dating, and most of my friends have met their boyfriends off of the internet.
Yeah,
so
I met my current boyfriend on Bumble, and
yeah,
it's been great. But when I started to learn to really recognize people that were serious about being in a relationship, and the people I just didn't know. I hadn't dated since I was 20. So like I really didn't know how it worked, and I felt so foolish, but you kind of almost have to learn the hard way a little bit. But no, I think a lot of people have met through online dating. It's like kind of almost like a necessary evil at this age. I mean, there's so many layers to our lives at this age that it's not like when you're 20 and you have a few things in common and you're like, let's make babies together. Let's get married, you know?
Don't do babies. She didn't mean to say that. She takes that back.
I love babies. Give me all the babies. Wait, I don't want to raise them though. Anyways, so it is definitely difficult, but you start to recognize who the good people are, who the people you can trust. Even by that first message, you can kind of see. So we kind of have a list, and we're going to go through it. But
we're going to help you send some good first messages.
Yeah, it's going to be good. But just make sure if you guys have any questions, just save them till the end, because we can't read them really quickly, and we'll kind of go through them at the end.
We can't multitask, so we have to just save it.
Yeah.
But also, if guys are watching, obviously we don't know the guy side of this as much. So I know girls send crazy ass messages as well. And so if you guys have comments, like, please post those for just a different perspective. We do have a couple things that guys have sent in, which are super helpful. But again, we only know what we receive, and I know what I do and don't like. And it's helpful if you guys would comment too. So maybe one day we'll bring a guy on here.
Yeah.
Poor schmuck. But that I think would be great.
We're wired so differently. So I think it's like a dance of we're always trying to figure out the other sex out so that we can, so dating can really work and love can really work. It's such an elusive thing, like happiness. Like if you had the perfect recipe, what would it look like, right? But we're all just trying to figure it out. But we have a few things that we think might be helpful for this.
I have notes, and we made a list.
She's the organized one.
So organized. So, one thing for me. Okay, I'm just going to jump right to the meat of it. I hate
What do you hate, Marie?
I hate a lot of things, most things actually.
Just make a list.
I should probably start with what I like.
Hi, Jacqueline.
That's everything. Okay. Here's my bullet points of things I don't like. If I get one of these messages, most of the time I probably won't even respond to you. I don't like, hi, how are you doing? Which seems harmless and seems like, or hi, how was your weekend? Or hi, how was your day? And that probably sounds bitchy, but I don't know you, and I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to go through and, hi, my day was fine. How's yours? Like, I hate that. I won't answer that. And I'm also not going to go and give you like details of my life. We'll get to that. I will. So I also won't respond to anything that is like, damn, you're hot, or
something objectifying.
Anything, nothing. I hate that. Which I get it. I understand. So I understand guys are visual. That's like a trigger for me.
And you were saying earlier too, like on dating apps, all we have to go off is mostly people are just looking at photos.
Obviously, we think we're each other attractive because we swiped and we matched. Like, all I have to do is look at your photos. And so if that's really all you have to say to me right off the bat, like you can't think of something other than that, like what am I supposed to say to that? Thanks.
Yeah.
How are you? Like, thanks, you're hot too. It's just not a very good conversation starter.
Yeah.
Which is really what you're trying, like, a lot of us, maybe, like, you might have 20 matches, you might have 2, and the one that's going to stand out is one that's actually took the time to write a thoughtful message.
If someone puts thought into it, like if they were looking at your photos and you had a photo of you playing tennis, they'd be like, oh, you love tennis, where do you play? Or, did you play in high school? Or something where they like actually took the time to look through your profile. That's when I think it makes it more interesting, because I always go back to people want to be understood, want to be loved, want to be seen. So if you're just being seen as an object and not a person, women hate that.
Yeah. Again, if you're there for a hookup, then go for it.
Yeah.
Like, it all depends on what your goals are,
but we are talking about like if people are interested in a relationship, and that's what we're covering tonight. We're not talking about the hookup thing, because people do all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah. And usually it's gets sexual right off the bat, and
that's just not where we're at. So
that's
we're
not where we're at. And like,
that.
I think in the end, everybody wants love and everybody wants a relationship at some point, right? So we're going to be covering that mostly. So
yeah. What are things you hate?
Same thing. I hate to be objectified. I like when they put, you know, some effort into their message. If they say something like, you have beautiful eyes, or I love your smile, it's radiant, or something like that, I'm like a cheesy, hopeless romantic. So which she loves.
I'm like,
she
loves
it.
And she's like, oh.
So I prefer something like that. That's when I know that like someone maybe has potential, is if they're saying something like about my energy or who I am as a person. Yeah.
I also think though it's super important to follow up with a question. So don't just say something like with a period, hey, you have beautiful eyes. True. Like always follow up with a question, because I feel like
because it gets the conversation going.
Absolutely. My go-to message, I'll get vulnerable for a second. Don't get used to it. This is it. My armpits are sweating. But if I've read a profile and it's like, okay, they don't have a lot, or it's like I can't really think of something obvious that they've posted to comment on, you can find out a lot from someone by asking, how do you take your whiskey? That's my go-to question. And you'll be surprised at the answers I get back. And for instance, if someone replies Fireball, then I know immediately they're out. Like, who the fuck drinks that? I don't. We're never going to last. So that's...
Or how do you take your coffee?
I've done that, but actually, I used to say, how do you take your coffee? But then people started to, like, sexualize that. Like, I don't know if they thought, like, waking up with me in the morning to drink my coffee. Like, no. But if you tell me you're going to go to McDonald's to get coffee, like McFlurry style, then I know that's out. Like, you get some crazy-ass messages, so...
I say things like, what sets your soul on fire?
Oh, God, I would never say that.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
So, yeah, for me, I love when it's funny or witty, and, like, you obviously put some thought into it.
Yes.
Because my profile's, I think, in my opinion, pretty funny. And so if someone can kind of match that, at least, I know that's like a good start.
Yeah. I think too, like in this dating world of just swiping, people want to feel important. And so when you put a little effort into it, and I think people can just, I don't know, I think because there's like the thought of like people are disposable almost in the dating world. I think like, okay, you're someone I'm really putting my energy into right now, and it's just you. Like that feels like someone who's interested in a relationship, and that's someone who's like interested in taking time out just for you, and they don't have 4 women on the side, or vice versa. Women do it to men too. This goes both ways, but I think just feeling important, honestly.
Absolutely.
Because that's all we want, and that's all we need. I mean, not all we need, but that's all we want when we're truly at the base of it. That's what people want in a relationship.
So really open-ended questions always end with a question. I know one of the things, I'll ask my whiskey question, and they will say, you know, they'll say however they take it, and then how about you? Which is fine, but I feel like then that leaves me again with, now I have to ask another question. And I just, like, it's rough out there online dating, and I lose interest real fast. And so if I'm the one constantly having to, like, question, and you're just basically, like, recapping my same questions to me, like, I'm out. Like, so.
Yeah, conversation
also,
is
I'm
important.
single for 5 years, so maybe you shouldn't listen to anything that I say, but that's what I do.
Okay, so this one, what should I know about you that's not in your profile?
Yeah, what's one thing I should... Oh, shit, my battery. Sorry. What's one thing I should know about you that's not in your profile?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I'll ask something that's like, you know, what's something concerning I should know about you right off the bat? You know, something, I don't know.
Something
just something
concerning.
You know, is there anything I should know?
Can you just lay out all your red flags on the table? We can make a lanyard of it.
That's another post. And we're going to rip apart your profiles in another post, because I have a ton of opinions on a profile, so...
This girl does not lack opinions. I love it.
Another good question is like, what's the weirdest thing you will admit to me to a stranger? Like, what's the weirdest thing about yourself that you admit to a stranger? Just anything that's...
I think getting a little vulnerable. I think getting a little vulnerable too. Not right away, but like, you know, like if you're conversing for a few days or something, like,
Yeah.
I think it's important to get a little vulnerable. That's how we connect as humans, is our struggles and our vulnerability. So, I mean, I wouldn't go, like, on the first message. Obviously, they're going to think you're crazy. But, you know, like, if you're into it a few days, like, I think you almost have to go there a little to see if you can connect.
Yeah.
So,
And here's a question for you if you want to comment. How fast do you get off the app? Like, how fast do you trade phone numbers? Do you ever do that?
like, get someone's phone number?
Like, yeah, like you're on the app and you're like, because I don't check it very often.
I think
so
if
then
you're
I
gonna,
forget.
for me, it was like if I was going to go on a date, then
That's when you trade?
yeah, I would exchange phone numbers. Sometimes I didn't, though. If I was like, I don't know about them, I wouldn't
Just
give
wait
out my
until the
number
thing.
yet.
Okay.
But usually,
curious.
we would exchange numbers if there was a date set up.
Lined up.
Yeah. So what do you guys?
I don't date yet. I don't know that answer.
You're dating me. It's fine.
Okay. Like, I think we did say another thing, like, I know, like, if someone, first of all, I hate profiles that are like, all they do is adventure. Like, if someone's like, I love adventure, you're like, you're right, I hate adventure. Like,
I love to laugh.
I
Who
hate
doesn't
laughing.
love to
Like,
laugh?
duh. I don't know. I can't, like, okay, but that's a different, anyway. Spice it up a little bit. Don't just be like, adventure, because
Yeah.
I'm like, do you have a real life? Like, I
Share
actually
something
have to do
unique
something
about
serious.
yourself. Yeah.
Yep. But then I can, like, comment, like, oh, like, where's the favorite place? Where's your favorite country? Or, you know, what's the last book you read if you like reading books? Anyway.
Yeah. Totally.
Okay, so if you have questions, start sending them in. We do
Yeah.
have a few that have already been sent in.
Yeah, we're going to go over the few questions that we got already. So put your questions in here.
We're trying to read. We can't do both
We're
at the
old.
same time.
Hold on. Let's get up close and personal here.
Oh, okay. Okay, she's going to read, I'm going to talk, because we both can't do this at the same time.
Wait,
People are after the first date, people are trading phone numbers. I think
Oh,
they
yeah,
can
yeah.
already read
Okay.
that. Okay.
Perfect.
We did get an email. Do we say names? Maybe not.
no, let's
Okay,
just
I'm not
keep
gonna
it
say names.
anonymous.
From a guy, which was great.
Thank you.
And-
We want men to be a part of this as much as possible.
Yeah, we're not man haters anymore. I was for a while, but I like you again. So feel free to comment.
Oh my god.
But it was a great email, and basically the gist, which I hope we are taking this the right way, was what do women want,
yeah.
right? What are they looking for?
Because dating is such a confusing thing, and he asked if we could put into words maybe 2 or 3 words that
the top 2 things.
the top 2 things that
women are
we
looking
want
for.
as women. And here's the deal. There's no cookie cutter answer to this. You know, anything to do with love, I really don't think there's ever like a perfect answer. You have to figure out what works for you. But I think it's just super important to know what you want. And
like a vasectomy. That's my top 2.
to figure out what you want in a relationship, and what you want in your life, and then find out what, while you're dating, it's like a sorting process, right?
Yeah.
And it's almost like an investment. Like, you have to look at it as almost like a job interview. I know that sounds terrible, but like, love isn't like, I've dated quite a
fluid.
bit.
Yeah.
So love isn't just like this fun, exciting firework thing. And if it is, it's probably the wrong person that you're not going to end up with like for a long time. Love is safety, and love is commitment, all these awesome things that I think we've kind of forgotten about as a society. But honestly, I think that I've lost my train of thought.
I think basically
No.
there's no set answer of the top
Yeah.
2 things. I mean, we could say trust, we could say
Yeah.
loyalty, we could say, you know,
Excitement.
authentic
Someone
and
wants to
vulnerability,
travel all the
and
time.
you know, but I think it's different for everyone. I also
Totally.
think it changes as we change, because if you had
Yes.
asked me 5 years ago what I wanted,
It's so
it would be different than what
Yeah,
I
because
want
you've
today.
grown and you've evolved and you've become more aware of what
Mm-hmm.
your needs are. So why don't you say like your top 2 things that you want? So because what we're trying to say is that everybody wants something different, and you have to find like that person that kind of wants the same things, and then you come together. And like I said, it's a sorting process.
Yeah.
But
I'm not
so
ready
what
to
would
answer
you-
that question.
Okay.
I think you should.
I think for me, when I've really figured out what I really wanted in a serious relationship, because for a couple of years I just wanted to like work on myself, I wanted to travel, I just wanted to work on me, and that's totally fine. If that's where you guys are at, it's perfect. Like, that's where you should be at, right? But for me, once I figured out what I really tapped into, like what I want and something serious that's going to last for a long time is someone to see me and understand who I am. And so, and unconditional love. So someone that's going to be there for the bad and the good, because honestly, like, yes, I'm fun, and yes, I've got a great life, and, you know, like, great things are happening, but I also can be a total mess. You know what I mean? Like, I have emotions. I'm, first of all, a woman, and I'm human. Like, we have hard times. We could be sick. Our kids could be struggling with something. We could be financially stressed out. We could be, you know, so many things. We could be suffering with depression. I mean, there's just a lot of things that we have to deal with as humans, and I want someone that's going to be there through the good and the bad. So those are the two things that I would say that I kind of narrowed it down to. I mean, I have more of a list, but those were important things to me.
Just two.
Yeah, I mean, really, I actually had a list right before I met the guy I'm dating, and it was it's like so crazy because I like felt like I manifested my list, because I got very clear with what I wanted and what I was like inviting into my life, you know.
My list is super clear. Apparently
doesn't drive a Prius.
It's a little that's on there, or a Subaru.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Someone who is compatible with me. Okay.
See, that's good. I actually love when she said someone that sees her, and I feel like, not to like take that, but like someone who accepts all of me. I feel like I'm a big package, and that's kind of one of my hang-ups, is that trying to, in my mind, thinking of someone that fits into this is hard to imagine. So that's one. I hate this shit. I'm not good at this stuff.
Come on, Marie, you can do it.
And then I don't like the top two. That's hard because I can like blurt off like 10.
Yeah.
I think someone who is like equal with me.
Yeah.
And not like in
someone you don't have to take care of, or
no, definitely not that. Someone who adds to my life, but someone who I feel like I have a lot on my shoulders, a lot of responsibilities, a lot of fucking children, and someone who can meet me.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like it's just something, like I always joke, I hate animals and children because they need me. I just fucking hate needy things.
Yeah.
And so I haven't met very many men, women, anybody in general who eventually are needy, which is not always a bad thing. This sounds terrible, but I'm just at a place in my life right now that I can't take on something else that also pulls from my energy.
You want something that's gonna light you up, add to your life.
Yes, which I hope I will do the same.
Yeah,
obviously, but
relationships are work, and so sometimes you're at the stage of your life where you're like, I have too much on my plate that I honestly feel like I don't even have time, because like I'm in a relationship and we make time pretty much every day to see each other, and it is something you have to put effort into. So you have your kids so much that it probably makes it really hard to make time. Yeah. But
so
the right person
we have no
will come along
that email.
For you, Marie. I know this.
That's what I want to say.
The right person will come along, though, that will fit into your life.
Yeah.
And you just have to, like, there's so many people out there, and it does feel confusing, and it does feel hard, but at the same time, like, it all works out how it's supposed to.
Oh, that's a good question. How often is too often to see someone you like in the beginning?
I think that it's good at the beginning to just see each other like 2 or 3 times a week. You don't want to, I think a lot of people we get in this really lonely stage when you're going through divorce and stuff, and you kind of want to distract yourself from all the hurt and the pain. And I know I did, 100% I did this. And I really wish I would have taken more time out for myself. But I feel like you have to just be aware of those things, because if you just are using a person to distract you from not feeling what you need to feel in order to let it go, that's kind of a mistake, because we can almost use each other as humans, like use each other to fill that need so that we don't, you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying though?
Oh, and for me, I think if I met someone who like wanted to hang out with me every day, I would be like,
it's suffocating.
Like,
so I would say 2 to 3 times a week, schedule something, but you still want to be living your life and have your independence.
They should add to you, not consume you. So I remember
you don't complete each other.
No, that's bullshit. What was that story, Jerry Maguire? Dumb. So like, here's you, here's me, and I saw the model once where a lot of times we think that relationships should be this, right? We form this one thing, and that's not. It should be, we have areas that we overlap, and yet we still have our own lives that we live, and that's really, you know, I know at the beginning it's fun and we're excited, we want to see each other, and the excitement
and there's
is there.
the highs of it. It almost feels like a drug. But just be aware of that, because if it feels too much like a drug, and then maybe away from them you don't feel good, but you're with them, you just, it's like you're taking drugs. And we become actually stupid, like dumb, when we're dating, and we start to fall for someone. It's very intoxicating. So if you are really looking for something serious in a long-term relationship, I would just try to keep who you are. Don't abandon yourself to be with someone.
Don't jump in too
and
fast.
I've done that before too. Like, and I will
Yeah.
never do that again. You know, it's like we have to learn the hard way. But just these little things, just notice them. And if someone is wanting to hang out all the time, every day, that's a red flag to me. It's suffocating. It's like they're
like, if someone has time to hang out with you,
it shows. It kind of shows that they're not whole, and they can't be complete without someone. It's almost like they need you. They don't want you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They need you to fulfill them.
And maybe not, but
I do think it's a red flag. Like, I honestly, at the beginning, it is so fun, but I will say, looking back through all my dating experiences, that would be a red flag to me. It is suffocating.
Absolutely.
And it's not good.
Another question we got was, this was from the Facebook page, you know who you are, is how do you tell someone that you're not interested in a second date? Let them down easy. Even if maybe the first date has gone well.
Oh, yeah.
Ish.
Okay, so this is a good one. And
Angie's really good at this.
This is one that I so struggled with, because I love people. Like, I truly am like the type of person that's just like, I want to know people's story, and I just like connect with people quickly. And I had a really hard time turning guys down. And it took me a long time, because I would go on a second or third date because I felt bad. And in the end, we're both losing. So you have to think of a nice, compassionate way to say. And I honestly had it like in my notes where I would just copy and paste. You guys, this sounds terrible, but
maybe
honestly,
we'll send out a PDF.
Yeah, we'll send you guys
of letdown texts.
But honestly, like, it helped me a lot, because it's just not fair to either of us in the end if you like string someone along, or just because you feel bad for them or something.
Because flip the roles, right? If someone had gone out with me and they weren't really feeling it, and I'm like, maybe thinking I'm digging it, and like, hey, you want to go out again? And they're like giving me like a sympathy date, like, no, I would rather know right off the bat that they weren't feeling it. And so whether or not it hurts my feelings, like, that's not their responsibility. And so it's better just rip off that Band-Aid and get it. And don't waste your precious time.
Yeah,
like,
don't
if
waste
you know
your
it's not
time.
going anywhere, it's not going to go anywhere.
And I think the bottom line is, most of us want the truth, but we're too afraid to do it. And it's absolutely amazing when you start just owning your voice and being truthful always in a relationship. You really see what
any relationship.
Yeah, in any relationship, friendships, everything. It's actually really cool and really beautiful to just be honest, like, you know, and you don't have to be mean, of course. Like, there's always compassion, right?
Yeah.
So I would say something like, hey, I wasn't feeling it romantically. I think you're a great person, but I don't think I want to go any further with this. And if someone said that to me, I'd be like, well, that sucks, but thanks for being honest.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I definitely think there's a nice way to just...
What's best for you is always best for everyone.
Totally.
And you just got to do it.
Yep.
And again, it doesn't, you know, it's me, not you. Like, I hate that one, but you can always use that one. Yeah. Or, you know, hey, that had a great time last night. I think you're a great person, but this, you know, it's not, the chemistry wasn't there, or whatever it is, you know. So
she has a copy and paste in her notes too.
Okay,
See,
Kira.
like, other people are doing it too.
We can all share. We'll go on there and share your breakup messages. We'll help each other out.
But seriously though, it's hard out there, and we do have to help each other out with this kind of stuff, because we were talking earlier, like, there's so many layers to dating, and this, and even like, I'm dating someone with kids, and we both have kids. It's messy. Like, this is what happens when you go through a divorce, and nobody has the complete answers, but like, we can help each other through it, and we can, I mean, support each other, because it's rough out there. So anyways, yeah, there's just all these layers to, you know, we both have jobs, we have children, we have, you know, friends, we don't want to abandon ourselves.
Netflix is important.
Netflix, I mean, you gotta be time for that. But there's just very little time and energy to figure it out. And when you're 20, I mean, the world is your oyster, and you're so excited to start a family and build a life with someone, which I haven't like given up on that, but at the same time I realize my reality can't maybe have that right away, right now. You know, I'm trying to figure it out. But
so to sum up, and we have an announcement at the end, is
love you, Lynn.
With your messages, your first posts, be funny, be original, always end with another question. Guys and girls, follow up with a question, keep the conversation going.
And put thought into it.
Don't objectify men and women.
Don't send naked photos ever. Nobody wants that. No one.
No.
And honestly, when I found out that was a thing, I was like, is that what our world is? I mean, honestly, like, it made me like, humanity, really?
I haven't got one in a long time.
I've never gotten one.
I'm proud of that.
But
I know.
I
can't believe that.
I've dodged that bullet.
Yeah.
Really happy with that.
Yeah. So, we do want to say before we go is we're going to have a meetup. Sorry for everyone not in Salt Lake, but we're going to start this and try this and see how it goes, because like we kind of said before, we really want to build this into something that's more than just comments on a post.
Yeah.
Where there's really a space that we can get together,
like in-person connection.
Connect, even make new friends, because a lot of us, one of the biggest things we see is that we feel like we don't know how to make friends, or we don't feel like we're in a position to just go out and meet people. How do we do that? And so...
And some people don't want to be dating yet. They just want to be hanging out with people that are going through something similar.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's amazing to be able to really just be understood, because, like, I remember when I was first dating and I'd, like, tell my mom or, like, my family stories, and they're just, like, they'd give me, like, the worst advice, or, like, they have no clue what I'm actually going through. And so... to actually be with people that are like, oh, like, they just get it. You know, it's just different.
And we're gonna it's gonna be, there'll be resources and tools. I don't know, alcohol maybe, we'll see. No, but like, it'll be connection and learning, and really something you can take away and hopefully feel good about, feel recharged. So it'll be coming in. The first one will be within the next month. Here in Salt Lake.
So we'll make that announcement on our UnWed page.
Yep.
And in the future, if things go where we're hoping they go, is we will be able to have like retreats and stuff where we can all come together, maybe make a long weekend out of it, go somewhere really cool, and you know,
there's something you'd like to learn about in particular. We have a ton of ideas already, but if there's something that you really feel like you'd love to hear about, we're going to bring in experts, not just, I mean, we're experts, but there's people who are better experts, so it'll be more than just us. But
well, I do think though, I mean, we put therapists and all these people up on pedestals, you know, that have a degree or something, but we're actually going through the thick of it.
Yeah.
And so we can, I think, and especially because we've been away from it for, you know, 4 years, 5 years, you start to get a lot of clarity, and I feel like it really helps people that are just in the beginning stages. So we just want to be able to offer that to people. So anyways, so look forward to the retreats and the local meetup. And if you guys have any questions, just put them on right now. We can look at them.
Yep. And thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you. Let's see.
I've been reading. I haven't really seen a lot of questions.
Okay. If you guys have any questions, send them in right now.
Or else we're out.
Unless we're gonna go to bed now.
I think it's
okay.
Good.
Is that everyone?
Really, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. We'll do this again.
Yes.
Look, I have a whole list of topics, so it'll be good.
Okay. Bye, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
We're out.